and then the stock ledger, like how to check, understand these things. Okay, so whatever we have been doing till now is like to arrive at this point. Okay, so what is stock count? Any idea like what is stock count?
Physical verification of the stock at site
Physical
about how much
verification of, yes, uh, right. So stock counting happens at location. Stock stock counting at location we do it. Okay, so it may be store or warehouse. Okay, store or warehouse. Okay, so what we need to do is like it's like this. It's mostly like this particular functionality I'm talking about. The significance of this thing is like to have a right quantity or the valuation of the inventory at the retailer's location. Okay, which means like let's say RMS says for item one, let's say the quantity is showing let's say 100. There is a possibility in the system it is showing 100, but maybe it might be 99 or it might be 105 in physical uh, checkup. Okay, so the idea here is this 100 need to be brought to 99 or 105. Okay, so that's the correction we have to make. Okay, understood. So now what we do is like we set up stock count. Okay, so this is a kind of a cyclic periodical way we do it, maybe monthly or quarterly or half yearly you can do it. Okay, so what happens is like how do we know like what should be the interval for high valued products? For example, let's say if the retailer is like dealing in jewelry kind of thing, diamonds and those things, so it might be like every month or maybe every week they will do it. And let's say if you are dealing in some say raw material kind of thing or something, maybe it might be something like 6 months or so. That's the way how the retailer understand whether how frequently the stock counting need to happen. Okay, so how it is set up is, say I'm not going into system, I'm giving a heads up again as I said. Okay, so you understand this, understand the concept and apply this when you see the RMS or let's say any other system. So for example, RMS generally uh, is is actually called as the heart of all the retailers, all the let's say the retailers systems, but the stock count is initiated from SIM, store inventory management. That's the ideal way how it happens. And then whatever data is being like say you I'll say this thing, the right word would be uh, the data flow kind of thing that will happen from SIM to RMS. Okay. So, but yeah, I'm just talking about only the RMS part as of now. Okay. So what we need to do is like we set up stock count. Okay. So the stock count cannot happen today. It will be any day in future. Okay. So you set it up accordingly. Okay. So that's the first thing. Second thing is like you can set up a stock count at a unit level or unit and amount level. So it's a two types of stock count, unit or unit and amount. Okay. Just hold on, please. So unit is like you only value the unit, basically the quantity part of it. Okay, that's a quantity. Sorry, not here. Quantity. And here the quantity plus the amount, the inventory valued is to be checked out. Okay, so now I'll be talking about the unit, and this will get extended to unit and amount. Okay. So now what has to happen is like, okay. So ideally, let's say store one. If I'm doing a stock count for store one, so what we do is like we first check out what's the system SOH, correct? Versus what is the physical SOH, right? That's what we have to do logically, right? Okay. So
Yes.
what we do is when we set it up, what we do is like it will say that okay, today is let's say 6th, right? So let's say you set it up for 7th June for store one, and let's say you also give them at what merchandise level you are going to do a stock counting. So for example, let's say you say that I'm going to do stock counting for all the items uh, residing in department one and for store one. Okay, let's assume this. Or maybe you can also, as a simple thing, you can also talk about, let's say you create item list and you say that, okay, I'm going to perform the stock counting for all the items which is in this item list. Okay, so basically it's at the merchandise level and as the store level. You can also talk about, let's say for items, all the items residing in this item list and for all the locations, let's say store, for example, all the locations which are store. Like this, you can do it. So for simple thing, let's say I'm talking about store one and then let's say item list. Okay. So now what we do is, so let's say you have item list as item one, item two, let's say item three. Okay. This is your item list. And then store one, and all of them are store one only. Okay. So this is what you have set it up basically. Okay. So uh, when you actually set it up in a future dated, you say like this. Okay, now let's say on the 7th of June, let's say on the day when it comes up, what you do is, okay, before I talk about what we do on the day, so when you set it up, the tables that get updated are take head and take skew lock, take fraud lock is also there. So fraud log is also there, but these two are main tables which we generally see. Okay, so when you set it up, these two tables will get populated. Okay, so if I see this out, data won't be there. Right. One second, if I look at dev environment, check. Data found because the data itself is not, we are not doing stock counting. Anyways, okay, so no point going further. So okay, so stake and stake skew lock. Okay, so these two tables. Now this will talk about like which store and which item list. Okay, and then this check skew lock will actually talk about the item location level. This values. Okay, so what you'll see here is, let's say store one. So you have a location values here, item values here. Then let's say you will be having system value, a system SOH, which is actually called a snapshot quantity. Okay, this is the snapshot quantity. Snapshot quantity. Okay, so this is a field name. So when you actually click, let's say in unit stock count, then what you're doing in sim, there's a particular button which says a snapshot, take snapshot something. Okay, that kind of button will be there. So when you click on it, at that particular moment, whatever quantity of these items at this location will be, it will get captured. Okay, and you will see these values here. Okay, so let's say this is, let's say item one and store one, let's say is having 78. This is, let's say 90, and this thing is, let's say 50, for example. Okay, so this is a snapshot on hand. Okay, then what happens is, let's say, so this is only at this at the unit stock count. Okay, then what you do is you have to actually do a physical counting. So generally what happens is you actually go ahead and ask a third party, because otherwise, let's say if you ask somebody who is a personal of your own retailer's premises, right, so there could be a bias thing. Okay, so you generally give it to a third party. Okay, so he will do a neutral stock counting for all the items location that you have actually asked for. Okay, so let's say he do a stock count, physical stock count. He says that this is like this 75. Let's say this is 100, and let's say this is 50. Okay, so this is what it came. So this is physical stock on hand, physical SOH. Okay, so you can clearly see there are few mismatch and some are like are okay. Okay, so what is the next step? What we'll do? Any idea?
Valuation.
No,
Like
you have to
difference
make
between
this.
physical and
Yes, Amal, what is it?
like we take the difference between the both.
Yes, that's right. Okay, so now what you do is you actually got the physical stock on hand. So, okay, so there is a process of putting the physical stock on hand in the system. Okay, so when the third party performs the physical stock counting, they will prepare a file. Okay, that's what is called a flat file. So you have to upload this flat file in certain path. This will get consumed, and this physical stock on this particular field in the table, this table will get populated. Okay, then what you do is you actually do a variance. Okay, you perform a variance of this particular stock counting thing that you have done. Okay, so here I think we need a batch here, the stock count STK var. Okay, I believe like only once in the unit stock count that we read, I mean like run a batch. Let's say STK var. Okay, this is a batch name that you run. So here this will be um, physical count minus snapshot quantity. Okay, so this will put the value as 75. Okay, this will be actually like this. Will go as this. This will be like this. Okay, and your what is the difference? Okay, difference would be -3 plus 10 0.
-10.
No, they're doing it because this is the
Mm,
correct value,
okay,
right?
okay, okay, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so difference you have put. Okay, so this value will get updated in RMS. How this will be done? So this is the inventory adjustment that is happening, right? You remember we took inventory adjustment session. Okay, so we'll see a tran code as 22 getting logged for this item location with -3. This for this is will be 10. Okay, so the tran data entry. Okay, TD entries. Okay, any entry would be there for item 3
No.
because there is no inventory adjustment. Okay, so this is what you will see. This ends your unit stock count. Okay, now unit and amount. Okay, so this is unit stock count I talked about. So now unit and amount. The unit and amount would be, so you run the batches here, okay, one by one. So unit and amount generally, uh, okay. See, in unit stock count, even though you perform in SIM, so the data will actually get integrated into RMS real time without any batches through a interface layer called RIB. Okay, RIB. Heard about it? No, yes.
No. No.
Uh,
RIB. Okay, that is retail integration bus. So through this, the data will get integrated. However, in your in unit amount, you have to run the batches. That's how the data will get integrated. Okay. So now, when you set it up, okay, when you set up the stock count, you need to. So it is set up in you say in SIM. Okay, but I think this setup. I'm just trying to recall. Okay, explode. Okay, I might be wrong, but just check it out. Okay, so there is something called a STK LD, stock count explode batch. Okay, so when you set it up in SIM, I think this will flow down to RMS. Um, I'm not sure any batch is required or not to flow down to RMS. Howsoever, but when you do a stock count explode, okay, then your stake head and stake skew log will get populated. Okay. So count explode batch will help populate stake head and stake skew log. Okay, just check it out. Then what we do is we run STK UPD batch. No, not now, not now. You take the snapshot. Okay, so I'll put it as a batch here. Batches action in sim. Okay, and then data. I'll put it as data update in RMS. Okay, so okay, I'll put account setup in sim. Okay, so you run this thing batch, this will get updated. Okay, then the next action is take snapshot, right? Okay, so you take snapshot SOH. Oh, I say action in sim data update, not yet. Okay, take snapshot. Then so basically like in sim, the snapshot on hand, basically it is getting updated in sim. Then you run this STK UPD batch. So this will get stakes queue lock will get updated. Log will get updated for snapshot. Okay. So then after this you load the file. I mean you do physical counting and load the file. Correct? Okay.
Okay.
Physical counting, load the file. Okay. Now, okay, physical counting, load the file. Now set a STK UPD. Then you have STK UPLD. Okay. U STK UP. Just hold on, please. 1 second.
I think L is not there. STK stock count update.
Okay. Yeah. Stock count upload. Okay. So you upload this physical file into this. Okay. So here your this physical SOH will be updated. Okay. Explode STK UPLD. Okay.
Sanjay, is it upload or update?
Here it is update. Here it is upload. Okay. You have a physical count file. You upload. Okay. That batch you run, and then this will get uploaded here in RMS, and then stakes queue lock. Physical on-hand quantity will get updated. Okay.
Okay.
Then you run STK var batch. So so see here, like there is an option to recount also. Okay, let's say if the person has made a mistake in counting and all, so you do a recount also. Okay, so there is a possibility. So there is one more column as like recount quantity something something. So you can do a recount. Okay, so I think only twice counting can happen in a single stock on hand stock out. Okay, so now then, so any which ways you come to this point STK var. Okay, so the variance will be uploaded or just say noted down, and the tran port 22 will be registered in tran data. Okay, and that's the end of it. So these batches are like important for your unit amount stock count. Okay,
Sanjay, one thing, please.
Hmm.
Sanjay,
Yep.
like you talked about stock recount option before
Hmm.
STK variants, right?
Hmm. Yes.
But for the recount option to be enabled,
Hmm.
we have to ensure that it has been enabled while entering the data earlier or not.
Yeah, it should be. It will be before the sticky ware only, right? Why you are doing the stock counting? Stock counting is actually the physical count is actually the stock counting, right? So you say
Right.
like, okay, this there is an error in the physical file. You want to do a recount. You again do a recount. You say that okay, the physical quantity is different.
I wanted to ask, like, we can do recount only if earlier this option is enabled, or even if it is not enabled, can we do so?
So they see this button will anyway be enabled.
Okay.
It will be enabled. Okay, that's what I remember.
Because somehow we selected the data and we didn't uh, check the uh, click on that checkbox recount button. I think I'm not able to recollect that. So that's why I was asking.
I mean, see, it's just like on top of my head, whatever I can recollect because I could not check out the RMS system yet. And
Okay.
the
No worries.
documentation also because to read the documentation. So this is just a heads up. So you will refine your understanding as how you read the documentation and all. Check out the
Sure.
RMS user guide or operation guide and all.
Okay. Oh,
Okay. Next is so this ends your stock counting. Okay. Then uh, replenishment. Okay. So replenishment is like again a heads up on this thing. Uh, I might be going a bit wrong somewhere, but just have an understanding and refine your understanding on by reading through the documentation. Okay, so you have the replenishment attributes defined. Okay, so when you define the item, when you put the item, you actually define the replenishment attributes. Okay, so steps. Okay, so let's say step one, define attributes or replenishment. Okay, so national attributes. So the tables would be REP, REPL, ATTR, AUPD, I think. Replacement attribute update or update update, I think. So just don't get hung up with the table name. Have a look at the documentation, you'll be able to find it. Okay, so and then mention attribute location something PL ATTR some location Okay, is also there. Okay, just have a look. However, whenever there is a change in replenishment attributes, okay, so there is a batch. Okay, I will put this in batches. Okay, so this may will mint. So this batch name is replenishment item location maintenance batch. Okay, so again this will again put the data back into this thing. So it will be update kind of thing. Okay, change in replenishment attributes. We'll see this here. Then you have, so what happens is, like, let's say replenishment is like whenever there is a drop in SOH. I'll not put it here just for explanation part. Drop in SOH, then there will be a trigger like, okay, to upgrade or increase the inventory. Okay, so what happens is like also this trigger definitely happens, but at the same time there is a possibility that for this particular item and at this location there is already an incoming inventory which has not been materialized yet, but they might be incoming inventory. Same thing, like there was a possibility that there's some item which is already going out, which is in transit, which has not impacted the SOH yet. Okay, so now in that case, what it means is there's a calculation. Step 3. Let's say step 3. Okay, calculation of SOH based on incoming or outgoing inventory. Okay, based on income. So you understood, right? What is incoming and what is outgoing? Correct. So there is multiple ways. So again, you need to read it out, replenishment, and you'll be able to understand that. I think your okay. Vaishali, were you able to log into your Oracle account?
Uh, I was able to access the videos, but the kind of documentation you were saying, I was not able to access that. I had a word with Ojas regarding that, and he said that I am opening a generic page, but I wanted a link to be shared by your good self so that I can assess it whether I am able to log in or not.
Okay. So, but then the one which I showed you, were you able to not log in, right? The one
No,
which I was. Okay.
because it was a generic page. I had a word with him, so he asked to get the proper link. So that's why I texted you again that I'm not able to log in.
Okay. However, you have this user guide and operation guide, right?
Yeah, I
Okay.
have that. Yeah,
So read replenishment from both the documents. Okay.
user
So
and operation. Okay.
okay. So yeah. Okay. So what happens is, like, there's a table called as where this calculation happens. So the batch name is RPL Ripple Rock, RPL or okay. So batch name is Ripple Rock. So it's a replenishment ROQ, recommended order quantity. Okay, and the table that will get updated is REPL net inventory TMP. Okay, so it's a temporary table that will get impacted, whereby you will be able to see, like, what is the ROQ that is getting calculated based on this. Okay. Okay. So then, and that ROQ is actually the base of how much of order or transfer quantity will be getting generated, or transfer order or purchase order. Okay. Then the step 4 is 4.
ROQ is return on order
Recommended order
quantity.
quantity.
Okay.
Recommended order quantity. Okay. Then, uh, So based on this, there is a possibility like you might be having scaling constraints for the supplier. So there is a possibility that uh, uh, the particular order might get increased. Let's say there is a way, let's say supplier, you got a order quantity as 98, okay, but let's say supplier has a constraint that he will only supply in packs of 10. Okay. So in that case, you will get the order quantity of 100. Correct? You will not get for 8. Okay. That's the increase in the. So this is supply constraints anyway. So that's how that will be managed within that calculation engine. Okay. So now next is Ripple Rock and then Ripple Rock. Okay. Now, after this, the system will check whether this can be fulfilled through another location within your premises because it's a cost thing. If you raise a purchase order, you have to pay for the supplier. But let's say if you have enough quantity in other store which can actually fulfill the current stock on hand at this store, so this will raise a transfer. So, transfer will be raised, and this thing, the batch name is Apple or a Q. Just missing the batch name. So there's some batch name, okay? Ripple Rock, then REQEXT. Okay, this batch. So this batch will use and check like whether transfer can be generated or not. Okay, and you will see that the results are written in REPL Ripple results. Okay. So this table and this table is mostly like almost same, but this is the main table actually. This is a temporary table. This is a main table. So this is kind of like it's a working table, and this is a main table. Ripple results, and so since its transfer is raised, what other table will be updated? Tell me. Both of you. I was expecting which table will get updated? Transfers. Not reading, guys. Right. Yes, updated. Check it out. Okay, these table will getting generated. Okay, then let's say uh, if a purchase order has to be raised. Okay, so the next batch will be REPL REPL RPL Okay, that's the batch name. That's the step 4, step 5 actually. So PO will be raised. Here, which table? Again, REPL results. What other table will be generated for orders?
Order details.
Get stock dot queue. So check it out, maybe order detail also, but I think this is detail. Step 5, PO, okay, the RPLEXT, that's fine. Okay, then, uh, so again, like see, RPLEXT also, it will be a working PO. Okay, still not approved kind of thing. So odd temp. Odd head and odd log, these will be not generated yet as of now. This will be odd temp. Okay, so it's a temporary table for order. Okay, then you have odd build. I think this is the name. Check it out. So PO will be raised, and this is actually temporary. Okay, building of POs. Okay, this is step 6. Odd build. So you have Ripple results. and odd head, odd skew, odd skew, odd lock, odd detail. Okay. Then odd build. Then you step 7, approve the PO, approve PO. So this will be ORDAPPRV. Okay, this is odd approved. So your orders again like the same match, odd head, all will be, this odd head will be approved, order will be approved. Okay, so this is in a nutshell how the replenishment will work. Okay, so the batches can go here and there, like a bit of change in the name, but all in all, at this, the concept of how the replenishment works remains the same. Okay, there is also a possibility that there might be a mix of transfer or orders being generated. So that is a cross-linked PO. Okay, so first it will the fulfillment will happen through the transfers, and whatever delta is remaining, it will be fulfilled through your POs. Okay, to minimize the cost. Okay, so any questions? Nothing.
Nothing for now.
Okay. Uh, okay. Now next is, so this was. Shall I send you this working sheet to you? Is it okay? Or you have already captured it?
Yes. We,
You already,
no. I mean, I want you to send.
you want it, is it? Okay. By unit and amount stock on here. And replenishment. Okay. Next is stock ledger. Quickly, I'm telling you, stock ledger. Okay, so stock ledger is all about how the transactions are getting imported into stock ledger. Then further down, it should go to GL. Okay, so the batches here is, so tran data. Okay, whatever transaction that is happening will be uploaded into tran data. You're clear about it, right? Right or not?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Amal, you should be talking more. I'm expecting more from
Yeah.
you. Okay, tran data. So which means like any PO, stock count, sales. Okay, then inventory adjustment. So check out that stock ledger, uh, that presentation I've sent you, right? That white paper. Okay, so it contains all the transactions that will be coming in stock ledger. So tran data. Okay, so these are these things. Okay, so there are many more. Okay, for example, like there will be inventory adjustment, sales, stock count, RTV will be there. Okay, MRT will be there. Okay, like this way. So many, all of them. Okay, so like let's say tran code, tran data for tran code for tran POS 20, stock count adjustment will be 22. Here also inventory adjustment 22, sales will be 01 or 02 based on whether it is a GST included or VAT inclusive or VAT exclusive. Okay, RTV will be 24. MRT is also masked. This is transfer. I'll put it this way. Transfer is 30, 32. Okay. Then you have reclassification for that matter. That will be 34, 36. In and out, in and out. Okay. So similarly, okay. So check this out. So now when you get this data in tran data, so this is again a working table. Okay. So what will happen after this? Next is you run this. What happens is you run this sal stage batch. Sal stage. Okay. Batch will do a cut of this tran data table and paste in if tran data. So be very careful because this is the cut and copy, not cut and paste, not copy and paste. Okay, so whenever there's a batch failure thing of sal stage, it becomes very complicated. So we have to be very careful about this. So cut and paste, that's why. Because once it gets cut, it is lost. Correct? So you have to always like we need to take a backup of tran data table every time whenever there is a run of sal stage. Okay. So if tran data, almost the same structure with one or two fields here and there might be a change. Okay. So everything will be here. Okay. Sal stage. If tran data. Then you run from if tran data, you run sal append, APND, sal append batch. So this will take the data into tran data history. Okay. This is copy paste. Now, so tran data history is the historical table, and this will contain all the tran data, like uh, I think whatever the system options thing will be set up for. Okay, so this is like in a nutshell, like one flow of stock ledger batches. Okay, next flow, which is more important, is like if tran data. This is actually a dynamic table. This is static table. Okay. No, this tran data is a dynamic table. If tran data is static table, because until unless sal stage is run, this will stay as same. Okay. So now what happens is if tran data you run the batch as so you move the data to GL. Okay. So we have a batch of fifth GL DN. Okay. DN2 we use it for this GL transfer. Otherwise, we have GL DN1 and DN3 as well. Okay, so just read out. I can't remember as the top of my head. Like there is a bit of a change across all the three batches. Okay, so what happens is like in fifth GL DN2, it does a roll up of transactions as per a unique combination of department class subclass, tran code, and location. Okay, so roll up data with respect to department class, subclass, location, tran code. Okay. Happens. So it will actually do at a department level. This value will be stored and sent down to STG GL data. This batch will send it down to STG 5GL data. That's the end of RMS. From here, again, this is staging table. Here, the GL will be interfaced, okay, and the data will be pulled to the GL, the O5 thing, okay. Now, this thing is important to understand. If tran data, how the if tran data is working out, how this roll up is happening. This thing we need to learn how to evaluate is this coming correctly or not, because it's a roll up of department class, subclass, location, tran code. So you have to check, let's say for one day, check it out for one day, how the values are showing in the as a item location level, and whether the roll up after you run this, you check it out whether it is coming correctly or not. So this is our responsibility to do it, and we need to learn how to do it. Okay. So this is one part of it. Then we also have another stream of the stock ledger batches as like from fifth from if tran data only, we have uh, daily data. Daily data. This table will get populated. I think there is a sal daily batch. This batch is okay. I'll write it somewhere else. Otherwise, it will be confusing. So if from data you run sal daily DLY. So this will update daily data. Sal daily, then sal weekly, I think that's the batch name. So week data and sal month data. So this is how this tables will get populated. Okay, and these tables will actually further be used in let's say preparation of data for, let's say, deals. Okay, so these tables will be used. Okay, uh, I think, yeah, that's the end of GL, stock ledger, basically, not the GL, stock ledger. Okay, so I'll put this. Any questions on this? See, this is again heads up, but you need to go and search it out. That particular white paper which I have given you, read through that. Okay, to help understand like how this stock ledger works. Okay. Any questions? Definitely, you'll have a lot of questions because stock ledger is the main thing. Whatever we have done till now, it's everything boils down to stock ledger. Like everything will end up here. So you need to learn how the transaction works in RMS, and then how your stock ledger tables will get populated across different batches through different batches, and how this STG50GL data will be coming, whether the values are correct or not before you actually interfaces to GL actually. So this STG50GL data need to be checked with respect to if tran data. Correct? If the rolled up value is correct or not here. So you have to learn how to do it. Okay. So a lot of things are there, guys. So be prepared. I hope you're learning with your data migration stuff. If you need my help, I'm there. But showcase you are capable. This is what the expectation is from the higher management. Okay, I'll send this across this document to you. And yeah, that will be end of our sessions now. Okay.
Okay.
Okay then. See you tomorrow.
Sanjay?
Yep.
What about weighted average cost?
Yeah, weighted average, right? See, weighted average cost, again, this is also an important one. So this is also part of stock ledger. Okay, so WAC thing, how the WAC calculation happens is, I'll just quickly talk about this. WAC, weighted average cost calculation. So the current SOH plus in transit SOH, okay, multiplied by average cost. So average cost will be from item log SOH table, okay, plus your incoming inventory. Incoming inventory is like, say, for example, receipt. Whole thing divided by total SOH. Okay. So that is your new average cost. What the formula? If you can't make it out, understand, let me know. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay. I'll suggest like you can create some transactions to understand how this formula works. So ensure that you have some in transit values. You have certain SOH. Okay. And note down what is the average cost for everything is item log SOH. Okay. Yeah. So this receipt is, let's say, for example, you do a PO receiving. Okay. You do a PO receiving. Which is PO receiving will be at certain cost, okay, which is actually quantity into unit cost, by the way. Okay, so check that out. That is the incoming inventory total cost. So incoming inventory total cost basically. Okay, and then once it is received, your total SOH will get increased, right? While the in transit SOH still remains. Okay, then you do the total divide by total SOH and check out what is the average cost with your calculation and then match it out what the system is showing. It should match. Understood? So before you create your transactions, okay, you have to note down these values because this average cost is actually whack. You have to note down this. In fact, you have to note down the complete item lock SOH table. Then only you will be able to see, right, what is the inventory in transit SOH, what is the current SOH. Okay, is there any reserve quantity, all those things. Howsoever, like the WAC calculation does not account for it, but just note it down. Okay, so this particular formula has been extensively described in that stock ledger document as well. There are many scenarios being given. If the current SOH is negative, for example, how this will be getting calculated. If it is zero, how it will get calculated. Right, all these scenarios which been talked about. So understand from there. Okay.
So we have to do this topic from also documentation, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So have an understanding. Let me know if you need my help. But most importantly, you need to read. I mean, as a new guys, you have to read a lot. You have to read you have to build your understanding. I'm only there to handhold you for some time. I mean, from the rest of the things, like you have to take it, you have to carve your own path.
Yes, Sanjay.
Okay. So yeah, that's the end of our sessions now. Okay, I'll catch up tomorrow then. Okay, I'll send you this document. Okay, so okay. See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.